if we're looking at what makes a good franchisee, clearly the starting point, franchises are different. What you're going to require we talked about to open a Subway is going to be different from what you might need to buy a man in a van chips away franchise, for example. So there's some very obvious hard things that people will need. They will need a certain amount of cash. You know, I might want to own a McDonald's, but if I've only got £5,000 in the bank, I'm not going to be able to buy a McDonald's. Some franchises want very specific sales and marketing skills. Some want previous experience of having managed an outlet. If you're looking at buying into an optical franchise, for example, they may want you to actually have some form of optical qualification, so you can actually deliver the service as opposed to just manage the outlet. So there will be some hard must-have attributes that a particular system will want. But there are also a range of general attributes that I believe any successful franchisee will have. Some of them have been alluded to, but I want to draw them out here a little bit. The first one is, it's that ability to follow a system. Some people say to me, Ian, they say, I know this guy's got great entrepreneurial skills. I think he'd be great in a franchise. Actually, many entrepreneurs would not be good in a franchise network because all they're doing all the time is pushing at the boundaries. They want to do it their way, they want to try this and try that. And yeah, I know you do it that way, but actually, what about doing it this way? That's bad news in a franchise system. You want innovation to come through, and in good franchise systems, they've always got ways for innovation to flow up from the sharp end, the franchisee end, into the changing the system. I mean, a good example of that would be the McChicken offering, which actually came as a result of a franchisee having that idea, and now it's a distinct part of McDonald's offer. But what you don't need is somebody who's always going to be trying to do it their way. You want people who can actually follow the system closely. And the other interesting thing about that point is the single biggest reason why franchisees fail is because they fail to follow the system. You might say, well, why would you spend X thousand pounds buying a franchise if you're not going to follow the system? I don't know, but people do. Maybe it's pride, arrogance, whatever. The single most biggest reason is they don't follow the system. They need to be development oriented. In other words, you know, you're not going to buy a franchise, and well, some people might do, and just sit there and wait for the telephone to ring. You need to go out there and make it happen. I mean, obviously, if it's a retail franchise, a lot of it's about location. But if it's a business-to-business franchise, you've got to get out there and drive it forward. And a number of franchise systems now, particularly in the food sector, are less interested in having what I might term mama and papa operators with their one little unit where they're hands-on. What they want are business people who can start with one unit and grow to a cluster of maybe 4 or 5 in an area. Those people are much easier to manage, direct and motivate, require less support from the franchisor's perspective, and their objectives tend to align better with those of the franchisor. But a vital ingredient is whatever domestic arrangement people have got, if there's somebody at home or somebody they're sharing a home with, having that support is absolutely critical. The last thing you need when you're starting a franchise is to have a tough day, getting doors slammed in your face when you're out trying to get new customers, to get home and then have your ear bent because you're not making the money you thought you were going to be making at that point in time. So getting sort of domestic support, wife, husband, partner, whatever, is absolutely critical. Energy and enthusiasm are sine qua non. You've got to have them. You just got to, seeing people who are energetic, enthusiastic, and all the rest of it is critical. But the one thing that I think I always look for is the right attitude. Sometimes I'll meet people for whom their franchise just isn't working. When you talk to them, they'll say, well, what are the issues? They'll say, well, the market's really tough. You know, that franchisor, he doesn't support me, my territory's too small, and, well, we're in a recession. It's always something else, it's never them. The good guys, the people who make it a success, are the people that take ownership of their situation and say, yeah, it's tough out there, but I've got a good system, I'm going to make it happen. It's that attitude, that taking responsibility and ownership of their destiny within the context of the system.